Rockford Fosgate is excited to bring you our new audio solutions for the 2018 and newer Polaris Ranger XP 1000 models. Welcome back. I'm Eric, and today we're going to show you how to install the all-new Stage 2 kit on this 2021 Polaris Ranger. On our Ranger, we went ahead and removed the windshield and unstrapped the doors to stay open so we could easily move our camera in and out of the vehicle. Now, this step is not necessary for your installation. All right, before you get started, it's always a good idea to disconnect the power when working on any electronics. The battery is located under the rear passenger seat. You'll use a 10mm socket or wrench to disconnect the negative terminal. We'll continue our prep work by removing the hood and the upper cup holder secured by 2 push pins. Now you're ready to remove the lower dash assembly. Using a T40 Torx, remove the 7 upper bolts, then a T27 Torx to remove the 4 lower bolts. Then remove 2 push pins underneath the center control panel, as well as any air duct hoses if your Ranger is equipped with climate control. Okay, let's move to the center console. There will be 8 push pins that need to be removed from the outside of the center console, as well as 2 push pins from the inside seat pocket. As you're removing the panel, disconnect the front and rear ducts for the climate control, then remove the panel. Repeat the process on the rear center console, making sure to also remove the 12-volt accessory plug wires. Now that we're done with that, it's time to remove the rear headliner. If your Ranger doesn't have a headliner installed, you can simply skip this section. Start by removing the 2 push pins above the rear window. Then remove the 5 smaller bolts using a T25 Torx and 4 larger bolts using a T40 Torx. Before we lay out our rear speaker harness, we need to drill a hole behind the rear driver's side seat with the provided hole saw. This will give us access to route our harness into the center channel pocket. Now we'll finish by inserting one of the provided rubber grommets to protect the harness. Start by running the harness along the rear cabin frame to estimate your securing points. Use the provided zip ties and zip tie clips to secure the harness in place. Now, continue routing the harness down the driver's side rear door frame and secure it in place using the provided Christmas tree zip ties. Okay, once you're done, route the harness through the grommet and pull it through the center tunnel toward the front of the Ranger. Route the harness through the firewall, making sure to avoid any suspension or moving parts. Continue up through the access slit in the panel near the radiator. Once you're done with that, you can reinstall your center panels back into the vehicle. The front speaker pods install in the lower dash pockets. We recommend to test your pods in the dash to ensure proper orientation. To get started, you'll need to drill approximately a 1-inch hole on the lower inside corner of the pocket. This is crucial for proper fitment. Insert the cable into the hole and slide the pod into place before installing the lower dash. We used zip ties to hold our pods in place while we transported the assembly back into the Ranger. While this is not necessary, it made it a little easier. Reconnect the climate control hoses, then run the speaker harness through the firewall toward the front hood compartment. Now secure the lower dash using the 4 provided longer bolts and the T40 Torx. You'll need to use the remaining factory bolts and push pins to fully secure the lower dash back into place. Now you're ready to install your speakers. Connect the spade terminals matching red to positive and black to negative. Once that's done, tuck the Deutsch connector into the pod housing, as this will not be used in this stage kit. Now, locate the number 3 hole on the speaker pod, properly align the speaker and secure it using the provided hardware and Allen bit. The rear speaker pods are made up of 2 pieces, the mounting base and the outer trim panel. The pod's mounting base is secured to 3 plastic standoffs located on both sides of the rear roof. Run the wiring through the mounting base, then align it with the 3 roof standoffs and secure it using a 4mm hex wrench and provided hardware. If your roof does not have a factory headliner, you can skip this step. Since our Ranger does have a headliner, it's time to trim the speaker cutouts. Start by flipping the headliner over to access the underside. We'll start by pre-drilling the mounting holes to be used as alignment guides. Then, carefully cut through the headliner with your razor blade. You may need to make several passes to fully cut through the material. Once both sides are done, reinstall the headliner back into the Ranger using the existing hardware. To mount the outer trim panel to the pod mounting base, use the razor blade to score cutouts in the headliner. This will help you align the outer trim panel with the pod mounting base through the carpet. Regardless if you do or do not have a headliner, you'll finish the rear pod assembly here. Finish the rear pods by positioning the outer trim panel in place and secure it using a 4mm Allen wrench with the provided hardware. Now you're ready to install your speakers. Connect the spade terminals matching red to positive and black to negative. Once that's done, tuck the Deutsch connector into the pod housing, as this will not be used on this stage kit. Now properly align the speaker and secure it using the provided hardware and Allen bit. To install the PMX harness, route the large connector into the upper dash pocket through the rubber grommet. Connect the front Deutsch connector labeled front left into the front left input and the front right into the front right input. Then connect the right rear to the right rear input and the left rear to the left rear input. Unplug the cap on the Ranger power distribution block and plug in the main power cable. Last, it's time to clean up your wiring using the provided zip ties. Now you're ready to assemble your PMX source unit and upper dash kit. Start by aligning the trim bezel with the PMX source unit. Secure them together using the provided cap head screws using a 2.5mm hex wrench. Then, once that's done, use the remaining pan head screws to secure the bezel assembly to the dash kit from the inside. Now we're ready to install our PMX source unit. Start by connecting the antenna and extending the wire underneath the dashboard. Then, connect our main white connector to the main harness. Replace the source unit assembly into the dash, making sure to align the lower tabs while sliding it into place. Finally, secure it using the 2 push pins. Now you're ready to make your battery connections and test the system. Fire up your Ranger and power up the source unit. Make sure that all functions operate like the AM/FM radio and make a Bluetooth connection to your mobile device. Now that your system's dialed in, we'll go ahead and replace the hood, get the door latches back in place, and get this system back out on the trail. As you can see, this install came together pretty easy. If you have any questions, give us a call at 1-800-669-9899 or through live chat at the bottom of rockfordfosgate.com. I'm Eric, and we'll see you in the next video.